Thank you very much to the Bible study folks, and we appreciate that, and hope you all have a good day. This is K0DWC, and I'm on frequency for the British Military Radio Net for early check-ins. If anybody's got, or if anybody, I should say, wants to check in early, you can come now.
I'll check in early, K6VXY. I gotta go make my coffee though.
Okay, Vern, I've got you on the paper. You're in the #1 spot there. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm gonna go make some coffee. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okay, Vern, take your time. We got a few minutes yet before we're gonna get started. So you're on the docket. So go ahead and make your coffee.
Well, good morning to Vern and Chuck, W7MS. 33 degrees, just to beat Henry on the weather report.
Well, good morning, Mike. W7MS. You sound fantastic as usual. A little bit of a slow morning here, but well, I guess that's the way it goes sometimes. How you doing this morning?
Doing great. And could have easily slept in, but I just suddenly had an urge to look at the alarm clock, and it was 6:15. And as David mentioned last week, it's still dark outside.
Yeah, that's true. I tell you, it's really dark. It was really dark over here because it was black clouds on top or underneath all the sunshine. But yeah, I can see outside now pretty well, but it's pretty overcast here.
Well, I got an Pacific. I'm going to look outside. I was more surprised by looking at the temperature and the premature start of the heating season.
Yeah. I vacuumed around my furnace yesterday and hosed down the front panels on it and took the old furnace filters out, put new ones in, and reinstalled everything. Kind of vacuumed around it and turned the heat back on. I usually turn it off for the summer and at the wall there, and got that ready. So yeah, I know what you're talking about for sure. Did you say it was 33 degrees over there? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not. This is the truth. This is not fake news. I was surprised. I figured. I knew we were headed for a low because of the high pressure centers building, which means dippy lows but warmer days. So we'll just you take what you get. But I guess it's we're nearing the end of painting season. That's for sure.
Yeah, really, no kidding. Yeah, we've been trying to get stuff done around here all week, so we don't get caught in the cold weather. And we're making progress, but there's still some work that's got to be done. More work today and more work tomorrow and the next day. So they're calling for sun next 3 or 4 days over here. So And the temperatures are pretty mild, so that's the perfect time to get something done. But hopefully I can beat the cold weather. W7MS K0DWC.
Yeah, okay. Well, totally agree with you, and I've got to still unload my 1 ton of wood pellets from the trailer and make my traditional runs down the street to Home Depot, since the primary heat is wood pellets. We won't get into the central heat, propane, and the screwed up installation from the previous owner. The return air is insufficient, and the heat exchanger runs close to tripping out from the high temp snap thermostat. Poor design, but then again, with the price of propane, I'll just not to go old man bitchy, but I'll just burn wood pellets. And I also came to the conclusion, at least at this point in time, it's cheaper to run say an electric wall heater than propane. But standard winter tales, a favorite time of the year, W7MS.
Yeah, favorite time of the year, that's for sure. Yeah, we don't burn pellets, but we've got a wood stove, and yeah, we'll just buy some regular old wood to burn that. We don't burn it every day. But, when it's super cold, we'll go ahead and do it. But I think my propane, they just capped off my propane. I got a 288 gallons. 288 gallons? I think that's what it is. They just topped it off. But, you know, when I shut the heat down in late spring, you know, then you'll come and top it off. And then the only thing we use propane for basically is just cooking and stuff. So it lasts quite a while. So this last time I got propane, I didn't have much of a bill. It was only like $127 or something to top it off. So I'm topped off and ready to go for the winter, but I'll get hit with a big one probably around December, January. So I can always count on that. Oh, man. Okay, well, let's see. Mike, I got you in the 2 spot there, bud, and we'll see if there's a number 3 out there that'd like to check in early. And be number 3 for the Vintage Military Radio Net. You can come now.
W6 SSP. WA7YBS.
WXMQI.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Steve and Henry and Dave. I got you right in line. I got Steve in the 3 spot, Henry in the 4 spot, and Dave in the 5 spot. So stand by just a minute. Let me make another call out. There's a number 6 out there I'd like to check in. Be an early check-in. We'll get the net started here in a couple minutes. And be number 6, you can come now.
W7MKA.
Well, there's Robert with a heck of a good signal from Grants Pass this morning. Just sounding real good this morning, Robert. Hopefully the conditions will stay good, because I know the path from there down to here can be difficult sometimes. But I've got you in the 6 spot, Robert. Is there a number 7 out there that would like to check in? Vintage Military Radio Net. You can come now. Well, there's Bill. Good morning, Bill. You're 2-5. No problem. I hope it stays that way. But I got you on the docket there, Bill. You're number 7. Is there a number 8 out there that would like to check in for the Vintage Military Radio? Be an early check-in. You can come now. Okay, nothing heard. Well, we got plenty of fantastic radio operators to start the net this morning. So, good deal all the way around. Let me give you the rundown as I have it. And then I'll make one last call, and then I'll go ahead and start the net. In the number 1 spot, I've got Vern, K6VXY. In the 2 spot is Mike, W7MS. In the 3 spot is Steve, W6SSP. In the 4 spot is Henry, WA7YBS. In the 5 spot is Dave, W6MQI. And in the 6th spot is Robert, W7MKA. And the 7th spot is Phil, in 6, Robert Orlando. So one more call out real quick. Is there a number you got there? I'd like to check in now. Guinness Military Radio, and that you come now. Okay, nothing heard, so we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning again to everyone. This is Chuck, K0DWC. I'll be in net control this morning. We'll be on 3.974 megacycles. And Guinness Military Radio Net is a round table AM net, excuse me, that provides an opportunity for licensed hands to operate their vintage military radio gear on the air. Vintage gear, military gear is encouraged, but certainly not required. The check-ins will be given a number that can be used in the handoff. And I will call for check-ins at the end of each round table session. If anybody has anything for sale or they want, please mention it during your time in the round table session. So, with all that out of the way, we are running the standard net control station this morning. Carlos ART-15 transmitter, and speaking through a K032 microphone with the Electret module in it, and listening on the R45 AR-R7 with the R388 and loop antenna as a backup through an LS3 speaker and going out to an inverted V antenna. And I don't know how cold it got here this morning, but like Mom said, I'm going to leave that up to Henry with the weather forecast. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started, guys, and we'll hope Vern's done making us coffee. We'll go up to K6VXY to take it. It's just K0DWC. I'll go ahead, Vern.
Okay, I got it. It's K6VXY on low power just for that. But you should hear me okay. Got that super antenna still set up. I have this K6VXY, Groveland, California, Pine Mountain Lake, and running the IC 7200 by itself right now, but I got the Marauder warming up. That'll come by on the second round, hopefully. And antenna is, it worked out pretty well what I did. I've got the antenna, it's not a straight dipole. It has sort of in the last third, I have a second thing, hook tied to a tree that pulls up the antenna. And it's kind of almost like the shape of a concert, I guess. You know how they have the people kind of wrapped around. And it's pointed at you guys mostly in Nevada. So, let's see. I operated the California QSO party yesterday, and that was fun. I got quite a few contacts, mostly all Californians. The bands didn't really open up much till later in the evening, and all of a sudden there goes Minnesota pops up. And that's kind of fun. I do that once in a while. I haven't done it for a couple of years, but I was encouraged by our local radio club, the Tuolumne County Radio Club, and they were right about one thing, that Tuolumne County, because you try to work all the counties you can in California, is very popular because I didn't hear any other Tuolumne County stations on. We're pretty rare contact. Anyhow, let's see. I'll turn it over to number 2, and I didn't write down that because I was still working on the coffee, but I know there's about 8 check-ins or 7. Anyhow, VXY, over to check-in number 2. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, check-in number 1. This is check-in number 2, W7MS Mike in Reno. Good morning to you, Vern, Steve, Henry, and Dave, and of course, Thank you, Chuck, and good morning to Carlin. Probably, maybe, possibly still snoozing this morning, but good signals from all, and to all, a good morning. So this morning, running the Cub L4 version of my radio equipment. That's the RCA AVR20A receiver, AVT 112A RCA transmitter, about 7 watts, driving a Alpha 87AC, which in its work life served Globe Wireless on the island of Guam back in the maritime radio days of HF. About 215 watts to the usual boring coax-fed dipole. And I did get motivated to fire this up, and that's due to a so-so YouTube channel called World War II Tales, which features some really annoying AI-generated narration with a very upper-class, highbrow British accent, which occasionally has some syntax errors due to the fact that it may be able to read copy, but it doesn't quite know how to compose it. But had a nice narration tale on Bazooka Charlie and his L4, otherwise known as Rosie the Rocketeer. And he was the bane of many a Nazi tank formation with his bazooka modifications on that little Cub aircraft. So that's the story here. So over to Steve, W6SSP, W7MS.
Okay, thank you, Mike, and good morning, everybody. Beautiful morning. And I'm using the usual Collins 32 filter, 35 watts out, with the 104 microphone, and the matching 75A1 receiver. A little QSD more than last weekend, so we'll see how things hold up as the morning progresses. Picked up an interesting radio this week. It's a Bosley Model 52P, and it's for those that aren't aware of these things, it's over 100 years old. 1924, two-tone regenerative receiver, and Bosley came up with pretty interesting innovations in these things. One was, I think it's the most interesting, it's very unique, is the variable capacitor in this thing is actually made like a book, where one fixed piece of wood with a piece of tin foil on it, and then another one that's hinged and moves in and out, kind of like a book, with a piece of, I think it's mica in between. Very inexpensive compared to the usual variable capacitors that we see over the years. And the regenerative control is even more interesting. It's 2 basket weave coils that move in and out on a shaft. Very, very inexpensive. So a lot of these things were made, and it's kind of nice to have another one of these. So we'll send it down to Henry, WA7YBS, W6SSP.
Okay, and yeah, very good. And WA7YBS here, Vern, and Mike, Steve, Dave, Robert, and Bill, and Chuck. Okay, very good. Yes, I know about the Crosleys. Pal Crosley, supposedly his kid wanted a crystal set back in 1922 or so, and Daddy Crosley there went to buy his kid a crystal set and was appalled at the prices that were being asked. So he bought a book instead, 10-cent book, and built his own crystal set for his kid, thought, this is easy. And so he went and bought, I don't know, Ace Manufacturing or something like that, one of those radio companies that was just getting started. And of course he had unlimited amounts of money from who knows what. But anyway, the rest is history, as they say. And Crosley went on building. The idea was to build cheap radios. He was known as the Henry Ford of radio. And those book condensers have a little cam there that they're spring-loaded to be open, and then the cam actually closes the book. I mean, they're unique. Got to say that they're unique. And but yeah, the whole idea of Crosley at that time was to build them as economically as possible so you could sell them cheap. Those 52s sold for about $25 or so. So anyway, yes, Paul Crosley went on the Cincinnati Redlegs, built cars, refrigerators, all sorts of stuff. Well, anyway, back to more up-to-date radios. We're on the ART13, running 125 watts, and the microphone is the D104 with amplified bass, of course, and then the receiver is the Ray Cal. I normally used to, for about a year or so, I've been running the K007 as the receiver with this station, but I put the old K007 on the shelf, so it's on display now instead, and we have the Ray Cal RA17C, and it's the earliest Ray Cal that I have. It's 1959, so anyway, that's the receiver. It's 44 degrees this morning, cloudy, and with that, I'll turn it over to Dave, W6MQI, WA7YBS.
WA7YBS, W6MQI. Well, it helps to push the pedal first. WA7YBS.
Well, it looks like Dave might be having a little bit of a problem there. We'll keep it going and come back. I'll come back to him here at the end of this round. So go ahead and take it, Robert. W7MKA. Go ahead.
All right, K0DWC and W7MKA. Yeah, we've got excellent signals in here. So far, Mike, MS definitely wins the signal strength contest here. It's well over S9, the kind of gear that they took as you come on the air, and it's just silences, all my noise and everything. We got a lot of what sounds like electrical, insulator sparking or something like that. A lot of that this morning, which we didn't have yesterday on our local group. So let's see coming in from someplace. So yeah, 100% copy on everybody so far. We are running the BC669. This one is a C, the Black Wrinkle Earl B with the big lightning bolt E speaker bezel on it. That is an SP200, so cheating a little bit, running back 150 watts of carrier or so. And okay, on the Crosley radio comments, the only Crosley I've ever encountered or worked with was the BC654, which is one of the most difficult to work on sets that I've ever messed with. So I prejudices me towards Crosley a little bit. It seems like their broadcast band sets are not real common up here. I see all kinds of Philcos and then the store brand, Silvertone and all that, but not anything I've only met in one. But I'm remembering when I wasn't Crosley involved in that half a megawatt broadcast station in Chicago. Can't remember their call letters. Maybe WA7YBS. So send it down to Bill in W. He has N6TCC to take it, W7YBS.
W7MKA and 6 Bravo Charlie Tango. Good morning to all. I still have that SDR with it, so I'm doing the rest. So that's the net control, whoever that is. 6 Bravo Charlie Tango. Okay, Bill. See if Dave is back. Dave, are you there? W6MQI. Go ahead if you're on. Okay, Dave must have had some type of major malfunction there, but we'll check back in with him here shortly. Dave, one more time, W6MQI, are you there? Okay, we'll try to catch him on the next round here. All right, very good, all the way around. Anyway, with that, we'll go ahead and start round 2. And Vern, I'm anxious to hear what the Marauder sounds like. Hopefully you've got her warmed up there. Just a couple of comments. Henry, that was a great Crosley story. I enjoyed that. That was funny. But that was neat. That was outrageous prices on crystal radios. That's really something. But great story. And Mike, that ADT transmitter sounds great. You got really good audio with that thing, man. That thing is really thumping and really sounds good. And Steve, congratulations on the 52P Crosley. You'll probably have a lot of fun with that. So great job all the way around. So with that, we'll send it back up to Burns, see if he's got that Marauder fired up. K6VXY in the group, K0DWC. This is round 2, fellas. Go ahead, Burn.
Okay, this is K6VXY, still on the ICOM. Yeah, I think you had said, Chuck, that I sound a little more like me on this radio. I think it's the bass response because the way they do the modulation and all that on the Marauder makes it sound a little thinner. They say something about the audio is a little thinner. I think it loses some of the bass, and that's what happens when you use that. Although the D104 is not amplified, so like Henry said something about added a bass circuit in his, or a booster circuit, and there's no booster. This is straight out of the D104. Hardly ever used, which is nice. It's the old gray bass. It's got a chrome top and a gray bass, and it's neat. And it's just warming up now, and I want to make sure, and this is thinking about what Mike said last week, where does this audio connector, where does this RF coax go to? And I want to make sure I do it right, so I'll make it the round 3 amplifier rather than cause any smoke problems. And hopefully, Dave, you're not having any problems over there. I think we got some rain last night. We had about an inch of rain earlier in the week, which is pretty good. And but the driveway across the street, not across the street, next door, is very wet. So he doesn't have a sprinkler system watering the weeds. I know that. So looks like we got some rain last night, at least enough to get the ground wet. And with that, I'm going to be put on my thinking hat and make sure I do the Marauder right. It's warming up, and I just got to throw a couple of coaxes around here, and I should be all set. So hopefully, Dave, you'll be okay too. It's K6VXY. Go ahead there, Mike. Good morning.
Well, thank you, Vern. K0DWC and WA7YBS, and my apologies. Good morning, Robert and Bill. I think I admitted you on round 1, but that's why we have round 2. So we're all okay. And good comments. Crosley, WLW. I think Henry will pontificate on that one, as will Steve. But some great YouTube videos, tours of the site as it exists today and also as it existed in history. But let me see comments here. See if Henry received his microphone cartridges from Texas. We'll find out about that, an update on that, and also had mentioned my interest in resurrecting an ART-13 project last Saturday. Well, I went and did it. And the real story is it's the Zenith contract, the ATC-1, which was given to me several years ago as a parts source, but it was in relatively good condition, minus the hamster modifications. And the fact that it was Zenith and an ATC-1, I figured it was a fairly uncommon version or variation on the ART-13, so we tackled that. It's coming along quite well. We've unwound the hamster modifications, and we won't get into all the details, but somebody went through a lot of work to put the 813 and 811s on AC power, and then realized, or possibly had engineered the fact that they needed a bias supply for the 811s. It was that quandary of maybe post-World War II of achieving some high current 28 volts DC, which of course we take for granted today, but was I guess obviously a problematic issue for a lot of folks when they butchered up dynamotor powered devices. But appreciate people's comments on ATC-1s. I would assume it's only for the Zenith contract. And there was only one contract based on published information that matches this ATC-1. I think it's serial number 1490. The subsequent contract was the other Zenith that I have, which was badged for the Joint Army-Navy nomenclature, T-47 ART-13. And it's pretty much identical, except for on the left side, the tool holders were removed from the cover and put on the left side of the radio, and it went to a much larger font, which probably was based on issues of aircraft lighting and visibility. It went to a much bolder font, but essentially the same, but it does say ATC-1, and I would assume the -1 was applied only to that Zenith contract. So a little unusual. And the parts donor for that, unfortunately, was the totally trashed ATC, which unfortunately was the original contract date for the ATC, the first one out the door from Collins. But it was a certified POS thanks to UPS about 25 years ago in eBay. But for $100, it turned out to be quite helpful, but it took me that long to actually decide that it was going to be junked out and then become a part source. So that's the radio subject here this morning. So over to Henry. Also using the replacement cartridge in my now favorite T38 microphone facade, and running the electric element here with the RCA AVT 112 Alpha. So WA7, no. Looking at my notes, W6SSP. Good morning, Steve. W7MS.
Okay, Mike. Very good. W7MS, W6SSP. ATC sounds great. Everybody's sounding really good today, but like I said, considerable amount of QSB this morning for some reason. Maybe it's only me, but that's the way propagation is sometimes. I misspoke. The Crosley I've got is a 51P, not 52. I have a 52 in the SD case, which allows for batteries. The portable case is actually quite large, has a handle on it, and a compartment in the back for batteries, and another compartment in front for the headphone and a hank of antenna wire. I'd never seen this particular case before, so that's why I backed it. However, I did not realize that Crosley bought out Ace. That explains another Crosley that I have, whose model is called the Ace. I wasn't aware of that. So pretty cool. The other exchange, radio-wise, yesterday I picked up accepted delivery of one of the Chinese Baofeng K6 handheld transceivers. $15 shipped, brand new, and the capability of these things is just absolutely amazing. 2 meters, 440, transmit and receive, of course. But also listens to the 220 band, the NOAA frequencies, and the aircraft bands, AM. Plus a whole bunch of other all for $15. I'm not a big fan of Chinese stuff, but when I pick up things like this, I'm pretty much amazed at the capability and the price, so can't pass them up. The other thing I had on the bench this week was the Kenwood TS820S. I picked up at Lincoln a couple of weeks ago now, and got the last of the bugs out of that. There weren't very many problems with it. And it cleaned up really nice. It's in like new condition. Made a few contacts with it, got good reports, and put it away and put the next thing on the bench. So that'll be this week's project. That's the Uniden Tempo 2020 HF rig, which is a real oddball, one I've never seen before. So I'll be having fun with that. So Henry, we'll send it over to you. WA7YBS, W6SSP.
Okay. W6SSP, WA7YBS. And pretty good copy on all. And I'm looking at the scope pattern on this, using this microphone. Mike, this is one of the electric elements from the GTL guys, GTL Enterprises in Texas. So give me a quick break there, Mike, at W7MS. How does this sound?
Well, I think like you responded to my signal. It sounds very good. Good response, and far superior sound to a carbon mic, and definitely a marked difference between some of the other electret microphone attempts. Sounds fantastic. W7MS.
Okay, Mike. Thanks. W7MS, WA7YBS. Okay. Yeah, it just goes to show you can't really tell by looking at the scope, because the other thing is with the amplified D104, you can really get the photo transmitter audio input pretty hard. And so I may have been doing that with the D104. Of course, I switched over on the ART13 to carbon input for compatibility with this electret combination. What I did was I installed one of those electret elements into a Chicom Shure lookalike, a Shure 102C lookalike housing, and that was a very easy implementation. It just fit right in, no problems at all, and I could even use the original retainer. I had to make a little rubber shim so that the original spring retainer would work. But other than that, it was drop in and hook up and good to go. So anyway, that's what we're running. This go around anyway is the ART13A with an electret element from GTL Enterprises, and these were made to drop into telephones. They're, I guess they're the same size as an old Russian Electric T1 carbon element. But anyway, for $7.50, can't beat it. Very, very nice. guys sent it out quick, and it was no problem getting it. So, yeah, I had to buy two, though. They have a minimum order to you. You have to buy two to make a minimum order, so I do have one more electret element out there. So anyway, that's what we're doing there, and very good on the ATC-1 Zenith contract, and yeah, we're now pretty much basically the same. The difference between the ART and the ATC is not too much, and even the A version, a couple of little things different, not any big deal, but you know, basically it's 813 modulated by 811s, so there you go. Yeah, WLW, that transmitter was built by General Electric in 1933, I believe it was. And they had special, this is Crosley and WLW, they had special permission to run 500,000 watts, but they could only do it as experiments, and they had to let, like, the FCC know and all of that stuff. And of course, it was, you know, they didn't do that very often. And of course, all of the other broadcast stations complained because when they, they were on 700 kilocycles, and when they came on with 500,000 watts, well, everybody picked them up, and so it wasn't done very often. It was done as experimental broadcasts, and it pretty much was something that was something to be experienced, I guess. And but yeah, there's a lot of information on that, and on the tower that they used. That broadcasting tower was something else they had at WLW also. So with that, let's see if Dave is there. And if Dave doesn't pick it up, it goes to Robert, W7NKA. So W6MQI, are you back? This is WA7YBS.
WA7YBS, W6MQI. Well, I see the needles moving, so I must be broadcasting. I'm not even going to go into what happened. I was only on my first cup of coffee. I guess if it requires more than 2 switches to throw this morning, my brain can't handle it. So, well, you guys should be hearing me now. Yeah, it's not as you usually are, Henry, but yeah, the microphone sounds really good. I've put an electric mic element into an H250 handset to run on this little QRP rig of mine. And boy, I've been trying to solve what I call buckshot on the audio of the electric with that little QRP rig. It's been a lot of been interesting, messing with the mic gain and all the other settings that are inside this little radio. I ended up using a really thick piece of foam in front of the element, and that seemed to solve, 85% of it. But every once in a while I'll hear it on my highs. But yeah. Anyway, I'm on the ART-13 this morning, running a D104. Listening on the Collins 7584 receiver, and I'm thinking of Marauder going. I've never heard it before, so I'm looking forward to that. And I was surprised to hear that Tuolumne County, with all the retirees up there, that's a rare county. I was surprised to hear that. And Steve, your Bofang, yeah. So I had this, I guess I call him a colleague at work, kind of verging on Antifa mentality. Goes out and buys one of those Bofang. He's not a ham. He comes to me thinking I'm going to set it all up for him, and I told him, nope, go away. I want no part of it. Not that I'd even know how to program one of those up, but I don't even want my fingerprints on it. I have no idea what he was going to do with that. He was talking about going up to Portland and stuff, so no part of that one. What else? Let's see. Oh yeah, you guys are sick of hearing this one. 17 more working days. 17 more working days till H hour. So looking forward to it. So up to Robert. W7MKA, W6MQI.
All right, W7MKA. Sounds like you could start telling people you got fewer days and they've got years. Everybody loves hearing that. But congratulations, and ART-13 is sounding good. I'm curious about the electret element. I think you said that was an RS-38 bike that you put that in, and I've got a bunch of those that are not much good for anything except for maybe hockey pucks to cut the cord off. But I'd be interested to know more about which elements you were able to fit in there to get that to be a little more useful. We haven't been up to much. I had a WRR3 long wave receiver that had kind of kicking around here, and it's incomplete. It is missing the entire back panel where all the connections are. And so I've got is there's a plug where it originally had an extender cable, I think, so it has the type of chassis that slides out, and then you can tilt it either way to work on. Kind of like the SRR series, but it's not the same size, but I thought it'd be a good companion for the WRR2. I think it covers this 15 to 600 stations. So I finally got that out and worked on the rebuild the electrolytic caps and plug in oxygen pipes. That's really all it took. Well, if you thought R390 wrist was fast, this thing is worse than that. It's got the same sort of beta root counter, but it's pretty stiff. And pretty narrow, too. I tried to listen to a few broadcast stations if we can get OPB and a couple others up between 540 and 600 KC, but it's just too distorted with that low IF there. But it works. Maybe we can find some non-directional beacons this winter. Give us some airtime. That's been about the only recent project around here. Down to Bill, N6BCT to take it, W7MKA.
Bill, N6 Bravo Charlie Tango, go ahead and take it. Okay, Bill, N6 Bravo Charlie Tango, K0DWC. All right. Well, Henry, that audio on that thing sounds great on the you and Mike both. With that new element in there. I might have to tap on you there to get the information on that, maybe get a couple of them myself and try and see how that goes. But yeah, the audio on that's impressive. It really is. And Dave, now you're pounding in here. You're twice as loud as you were before you had that trouble. So way to come back on that. And 17 more days. And you know what? I think you're the only guy that's not retired. So you're going to be a retired gentleman in 18 days. So No, that's great. I'm happy. We're happy for you, Carl and I, and hope everything works out the way you planned it. So anyway, well, guys, I guess what we ought to do is go ahead and start the 7-3 round. I'm starting to get a little bit of QSB on a few folks, but I mean, Q5 copy, it's negligible at best, but it's starting to creep in. So, Bern, hopefully you got that Marauder fired up. We're all anxiously awaiting. This is a 7-3 round, guys, so K6VXY in the group, K0DWC. Go ahead, Bern.
I gotta turn the, there we go. I gotta turn the, thought I threw the switch here on the receiver, but I gotta turn the volume down. I get feedback. Okay, I'm on the motor, and I'm running for, let's see, the microphone gain is up a little too high. Let me turn it down. There we go. Microphone gain is a little more normal now. Right about 40-50 watts here. And yeah, that's the idle current is less than 100 mils, and it peaks up quite a bit. Hopefully I'm not over-modulating. I'll back away from the microphone a little bit. But this is the D104 non-amplified mic. Although there is a really good gain control circuit in the Marauder, so I can get a lot of punch out of this mic if I want it, but maybe the bass isn't there. Because I remember Chuck said I sounded more like I did at the summer get-together at N7 RCA's using the Icon, but that has a mic with a bass circuit in it, and maybe that's what it is, or I wasn't sounding bassy, but yeah, the Marauder looks like it's modulating okay. How much power is it kicking out here? The idle is lower, more like 30, bumping between 30 and 50 watts output, and 124 volts on the input. So we do have a switch here on the receiver, going to the 7200, which I received with on this, is it's a two-way switch, so we can ground out the signal going to the receiver, but I guess there's still so much power here that it picks it up a little bit. So this is the Marauder, and it's working again, I hope. And I hope I'm not over-modulating. I'm going to turn the gain control down a little more. Let's see. Let's turn it down even more. Let's see, what is the low number at right now on the dial? It should be 5 when it's ideal. Oh yeah, still up a little bit, so I'm going to turn it down to there. This will be, this is the end of it, and maybe this is where it should be set. You guys can give me a report on that, but yeah, Mike, I figured out where to put all the coaxes at the last minute there, and I got it. This part around too, but I'm on the air here. So this K6VXY, I'm going to turn it over to W7MS in the group. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Vern. K6VXY and the great group W7MS. Well, this little modest receiver probably isn't the best for audio reports, but I think you're still a little hot on audio. I'm hearing some clipping on the voice peaks, but that's just my armchair appraisal. But great to hear it. Definitely notice the difference in received signal level, and you are 100% intelligible, and we'll let others critique who are maybe in a better situation from a receiver standpoint. But I did tune up and down, and you're there, Vern, so congratulations on finding the right and correct hoses, the insits and outsits. And speaking of that, welcome back, Dave. That should be your retirement moniker from now on. From henceforth, you'll be welcome back, Dave. But again, congratulations on the countdown. and getting caught with that first cup of coffee syndrome and too many switches, and the flow chart, it wasn't quite enabled, but sounded great this time around. And Robert's doing great on the 669 with an afterburner, and great on the NDB projects in the receiver that's sort of kind of there, but I think you mentioned that in the past. I think that was a recent swap meet purchase, if I'm not mistaken. And Bill is there, but he was less there than the previous transmission, so great to hear him sort of kind of. And Chuck, fantastic here for the 73 round. And last but not least, Henry's blind study test on the microphone. Great description of what you did to find the appropriate form factor to fit that T1 outside diameter. And something else I thought about, if I order maybe a couple of more, I might do a sacrificial dissection and do an autopsy and peel that guy back and see if it can be form factored in the opposite direction to fit various possibilities. But for $750, I guess it's worth the sacrifice. But like you, I only ordered 2, and I'm not going to sacrifice number 2 on the autopsy table. So it's we're not going to touch it, but I may place a subsequent order and order maybe 2 more. And then if we're really smart, like all good eBay entrepreneurs will buy 100, sit on them for a couple of years, and when the supply dries up, we'll suddenly have the new invention, the carbon mic replacement. And like Bob Heil will just stick a, like he did with his some of his elements that he bought from Japan, we'll just put a sticker on the top, and it'll be W7MS Sound Labs, and we'll multiply the price by a factor of 10, because of course it's all in articulation. But enough of that. I'm probably in big trouble here if this is being recorded for. We may be live broadcast. We were last year from John's operation on Wavelength Radio, or are we being canned for future blackmail purposes here? But that's the situation. Thanks for the comments. Yeah, on the ATC, yeah, they're virtually identical, but who can say? And for the uninitiated, I could just jump in on an AM conversation running. I'm running the Zenith ATC-1, and we'll see if anybody has a clue as to what it is. But you're right, just an evolution in the supply chain for that Collins product. But with that 73s, everybody have a fantastic day. It's going to be a nice, bright, sunshiny, warm fall day here in northern Nevada, and it's now up to 36, so I'm bragging. It's summer's waning, fall's here, and the sun's out. Life is good. So over to you, Steve, and congratulations on the Tempo 2020. We'll be looking forward to future updates on your voyage with the Uniden. W6SSP, W7MS.
Okay, Mike, very good. W7MS, W6SSP. Yeah, the Tempo 2020, very first thing I noticed was the power switch was stuck. And took the front panel off, and the whole back of that thing was melted. I mean melted. The interesting thing is this radio has, can either be powered by 120 volts AC or 12 volts DC, and the power switch had 2 poles in it. One for 110 and one for 12 volts, and somebody must have been trying to run 12 volts on that thing, 20 amps for that little teeny weeny switch. That's all she wrote. Very, very poor design. Yeah, that's the way some of these things go. The Marauder sounds really good. You're a little noisy here now. Conditions are starting to fade. But audio quality sounded very good, about as good as you're on the 7200, I'd say. I have a Marauder here. I went through a few years ago. made some sideband contacts with it, got good reports, but never tried it on AM. So next time I dig it out, I may just try it on AM, see if it works as good as yours. And Robert, the BC669 sounds great up here. And Dave, you are blasting in here. You are head and shoulders above everybody else. The Nevada stations have quite a bit of QSB on them. It's just conditions. So that's how it goes sometimes. Oh, let's see, what else do I have to say? Not much. So I'll say 73 guys. See you all next weekend. Over to Henry, WA7YBS, W6 SSP.
Okay. W6 SSP, WA7YBS. Well, very good on all. 100% copy on everybody. And yeah, but here's QSB. It is, propagation is changing. Vern, you were quite a bit hot there on the audio at first. At the very last, when you turned it way down, it cleared up. You sounded pretty good. And of course, lower sideband only, as that, I suppose on that Verada you probably can select maybe upper or lower sideband, but maybe not. A lot of transmitters automatically assumed that 80 and 40 were going to be lower sideband, and 20 and 15 and 10 were going to be upper sideband, but I don't know. I don't know if the Verada allows you to switch or not, but you were on lower sideband anyway. So when you turned the audio gain down there at the very last, it sounded very good. And so there you go. And NDVs there, Robert. I listened about a week ago in the morning, and because, well, it's dark when I get up, so I might as well listen. And it's been a long time since I've heard a new NDV, but I did. I heard CMJ out at Ketchikan, Alaska. And that's the first NDV I've heard, that new one anyway, in a long time, a couple of years anyway. And but that's all of the usual. A lot of Canadians. Of course, they're the NDVs are being decommissioned as fast as just as fast as they can, and especially in the United States. Not so much so in Canada, but they're still. Days are numbered for NDVs, so we've got to, log them as fast as we can, because they're liable to decommission them next week. And so anyway, I think I tuned in, 12 or so of them in about 25 minutes, which isn't too bad nowadays. I used to get 12 in about 5 minutes, but that was like 10 years ago. So anyway, keep trying on the NDVs. They're there, but not as plentiful as they used to be. And let's see. Well, thanks for the report on this electret. And yeah, what I did on mine for these the hookup, so I didn't have to come up with springs or clips or anything like that, was I cleaned the contact button and then a spot on the side of the can and pinned it, and then I soldered wires to mine and then hooked them up into the Chicom Sure body look-alike thing. It made it very easy to hook it up. You didn't damage it at all. So that's an option for ease of hookup, is you can solder to the contacts. And so anyway, I don't know what I'm going to put the next one in, but I'm buying an Electro Voice carbon microphone that I have. It is really, really nice looking. It is a nice looking mic, and it might be the next recipient. Who knows? Let's turn it over to Dave. 73 all. W6MQI, WA7YBS.
WA7YBS, W6MQI. Now you're starting to fade off in the distance there, Henry. Good time to say 73. And thanks, Chuck. Yep, looking forward to it. Never thought I'd get this far. And I think everything's going to be cool for retirement. Been looking forward to this a long time. And yeah, had a little bit of brain fart this morning trying to get the radios working. It's sometimes it's a good thing that all my parts are tied on, because I'd probably leave something behind. Man, crazy. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh man, oh Vern. Yeah, when you turn the mic gain down, it definitely did sound better. You're a little on the hot side at first. You know, if you get on YouTube and go to W2 Alpha Echo Whiskey, W2AEW, pretty sure I got his call right. He's got a neat little circuit that you can put together that you can hook between your transmitter and a scope. You know, that scope that I gave you, and monitor your output. And it even has the option to create a trapezoid pattern. And so all you gotta do is put that scope in XY mode, and you can look at your modulations that way. It's one way of doing it anyway. Something to think about. You can really dial that Marauder in. But definitely sounded better when you lowered the mic gain down. But good job getting that radio going. So with that, I'll say 73, and we'll grab the XY out. I think we'll do our usual Sunday morning walk down to the cafe and get some breakfast. So up to Robert. Hopefully you're still hearing me. W7MKA, W6MQI.
Yeah, you're still 100% on here. Down to Bill, BCT to take it, W7MKA.
Bill, N6 Bravo Charlie Tango, go ahead, N6 BCT K0DWC. Okay, Bill, N6 Bravo Charlie Tango, K0DWC, 73, Bill. And let's see, just a couple of quick comments. Robert, I forgot to comment on your BC669. Your audio was excellent, the whole net. And it's good to hear those back on, the BC669s. So great job there. And that's good from Ketchikan, Alaska, with that CMJ NDB. That's cool that you found one like that. So great job there. And Vern, I concur with everybody. As you adjusted it, you progressively got better and better and better after the adjustments and all. And you sounded really good. So like Mike said, you're there. Basically, you're there. So congratulations on that, Vern. And Marauder, you got it sounding really good, I think. So great job there as well. So anyway, okay, guys. Well, great net this morning. Appreciate everybody being here on the net this morning. Without you, we don't have a net. So thanks everybody for being there. And looks like, I guess Henry will be net control next week on the 12th. And then me on the 19th. So anyway, I'll go ahead and shut the net down. It's K0DWC, and I'm securing the Vintage Military Radio Net for today. And I'd like to thank everyone for for their participation and invite everybody back next Sunday morning. And with that, we'll turn the frequency back over to regular use. So you guys have a good day, a safe week ahead, and we will talk to you next week. And Henry, I'll give you a buzz this afternoon. So take care, guys. This is K0DWC, Dayton Valley, Nevada, signing 73.
I'm not sure if this is working or not, if anybody's still there.
K6 question mark W7MS.
Yeah, W7MS, K6, Quebec Alpha Zulu, K6 QAZ, Quebec Alpha Zulu, Steve here in Shasta Lake.
K6QAJW7MS. You're just treading my noise floor here. I think propagation is right now, but great to hear you. Q5 with some interpolation here on your signal, but nice to hear you. The name here is Mike, located in Reno, Nevada.
I'm using a 7300. I probably don't have it adjusted quite right. And putting out about 250 watts.
Where are you located, if I missed that? Could I have a repeat?
Off the lake, and the last letter is Z. Zombie. QAZ. You said J, but you probably wrote Z.
Okay, QAZ. No, I was just trying to, that was my interpolation. That was my internal artificial intelligence, or lack of intelligence, trying to fill in the blanks, because you are trading the noise floor here. But great to hear you. And normally, unlike the published times, which show a later start date for this net, it's usually around 7 a.m. here on the West Coast. So try again next week and join the roundtable.
Oh, okay. I've got to send DBA and no problem talking you there. I could, well, looks like my answer and everything right now for some reason. That's pretty not, but I don't want to push this one too hard on me.
It's always the fear factor. The dB relationship versus the smoke factor isn't worth the smoke to try to get a little extra juice out. But I'm also running some very archaic late 1930s equipment, so you know, I'm not on the critique receiver, so to speak, let alone something that would be even modern, but just a basic aircraft receiver that was used in the liaison aircraft in World War II, like the little Piper Cubs. So it's not very substantial for serious critiques, but we do hear you. But I am going to say 7.3s, but join us again next Sunday morning around 7 a.m. Be cognizant of the Bible study group, which is also on 7.5, 1 KCF from this frequency. They generally sign off prior to 7 a.m., but it's always been an issue of people pre-tuning for this net, which of course gives them a nice 1,000 hertz tone during their net, which is not good for amateur relations, but just a heads up on that. But nice to hear you from Shasta, and have a great day. It's going to be a nice fall day here on the West Coast. W7MS.
Okay, great. I realized I was at 75, not 74, so that probably made a difference. Anyway, thanks for inviting me and picking me up. I appreciate it. Have a great day. 7-3. K7MS, K6QAZ.
Okay, K6QAZ, W7MS, 7-3.
Oregon, this W7MKA. You got some money, that's 90. Gotta worry about the adjustment there, over.
Thank you, I appreciate it. we've got, and I'm running it with a Mercury 3S amplifier. That's why I'm putting out 10% for that. 25 watts, 10% of that. I'm probably putting 3 watts into it.
So 7300s do a good job on AM. They must have taken that into account when they designed them. We like sideband rigs for so many years, but they are popular. I mean, they must be the most popular rig that I can remember. Because every other guy on the air is running one. But yeah, we got stainless steel. This mic here, lots of black wrinkle, World War II type stuff on the BC 669, which is a glorified boat radio. So we're also running through a linear. So maybe a 150 watt carrier or so, but should be about 3 hours to the south of us. We're 50 miles north of the border here in Oregon. Over.